for the good portion of my life, my profession was in the entertainment business. I would perform comedy, juggling, unicycling. I did it in fairs, festivals, schools, sometimes corporate events, Renaissance Fair. I worked at a major tourism place in downtown Chicago called Navy Pier, if you've ever been there. I've done thousands of shows, as well as teaching juggling in schools. I still do it because I love it. I practice and keep it going, and it's been fun. And I also loved travel. One time I was introduced to Veracruz, Mexico. I went down there. Before that, I'd only been to Cancun for a seminar. And in Veracruz, it just opened up my eyes to how other people live in a different country, different culture, different language. And it was great. And so I ended up thinking about, because I'm an entrepreneur, I'm one of those people that are constantly thinking of ideas. What can we do to make money? Different things like that. And I said, you know what, I really like this area. I'm going to start developing tours, which I did in Mexico, in the state of Veracruz to begin with. And so I really know the state. Then I expanded throughout Mexico and started to see a lot of the other places. A lot of people don't know this. There are 32 states in Mexico. I've been to about 25 so far. I've connected with suppliers, tour suppliers in different areas, hotels, got to know the area, got to know what to see, where to go, restaurants, all of that stuff. I'm like this walking knowledge of Mexico, and I'm not a Mexican. I wanted to get back to the point of this particular video, and that is to talk about Cancun. I've been to Cancun now about 3-4 times. It's always been for business or because I was traveling through with clients. And the thing is, I don't book Cancun. Why? Because, hang on, there's a spider on my camera. Get out of there. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah. Because in my opinion, Cancun sucks. I mean, if you like going to Las Vegas, if you like going to Disney World, if you like going on cruises where everything is canned, where everything is commercialized, where everything is so nice, it's like going to kindercare, to day camp, they take you by the hand from the moment you get there, and they feed you and they entertain you, and and you just sit there going, oh yeah, this is really great. And okay, fine, that's not me. I mean, I would get bored sitting on a beach or whatever. And how much can you drink? I know, people like it, and it's a great place maybe to go and relax. And the redeeming factors of Cancun is you're on the Mexican Caribbean. I mean, beautiful Caribbean Sea, the sand white beaches, the cenotes and a couple ruins. That's great. But everything else is so damn commercialized. And everybody's gotten jaded there. Now remember, I actually work and live in the state of Veracruz about almost half a year. So here I am in Cancun. I need to take a taxi, and the taxi driver says, oh, it's going to be, oh, of course they all speak English down there too. They have to. Whether it's English or French or German or Russian, they speak your language because they want you to not have to step out of your comfort zone from where you're coming from. Well, anyway, getting back to this taxi driver. So I said, how much is it from, to wherever I was going? I don't remember. And I don't know what he said. Let's say 20 bucks. He goes, 20 bucks. And I said, well, I don't have US dollars. I only have pesos. I said, I'm not a tourist. I said, I live here. And he looked at me. I was leaning in the passenger window, okay, asking him this question. He's sitting in his car on the side of the street because I had flagged him down. And he looks at me, and in English he says, pesos? Pesos? He goes, I don't take any fucking pesos. And he put his foot on the gas, and I literally had to jump out as he zoomed away. Why? Because he couldn't give a shit about me, because there's some 800,000 other visitors, foreigners that are looking for a taxi, and he'll find someone else that's got dollars because he can make more money in dollars than in pesos. That's the key. If you're going to go to Mexico, go someplace where they only accept pesos because the ratio of the dollar to the peso and maybe other currencies, it's so much better. But in Cancun, dollars, 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 for the most part. And, you know, what an asshole. I mean, I literally had to jump away from the car as he just zoomed off. It's not really, in my opinion, my experience, it's not really about the people. It's about this. Cancun is a cash cow, makes hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars, from the airline flights to the hotels to everything. And so people, the Mexican government and the different companies that operate down there, they spend millions upon millions upon millions of dollars to brainwash people to say, yeah, Mexico, meaning the country of Mexico, equals margaritas on a beach in Cancun or the Riviera Maya. And that's what they want you to believe. And they've done a successful job. They've enticed travel agents, gave them good commissions, put together great packages, and of course you can get good deals if you want. The reason being is because it's quantity, quantity, quantity. Last year, 2016, about 10 million foreign visitors came to Cancun, Riviera Maya, that area, the coast. That, if you divide 10 million by 12 months, and of course it's not even like this, but that's like 800,000 foreigners roaming around. And the interesting part is that a lot of people don't know how big Mexico is, 32 states. It's the size of Western Europe. Or another way to think about it is, if you know the state of Texas is huge, put almost 3 Texases together. That's the country of Mexico. And so when people go to Cancun and Puerto Vallarta and Cabo, those major sun and sand places, the landmass that comprises those areas is less than 1% of the entire country. And yet marketers are out there day in and day out and day in and day out to say, when you think Mexico, it's sun and sand, it's all-inclusives, that's all there is. And so that's where people go. Why? Because that's what they hear. They're just ignorant. They just don't know. And there's so much more to see and do and experience in the real part of Mexico as compared to the commercialized, sanitized, Disney World-esque, cruise ship-esque Cancun Riviera Maya. But, you know, that's where people go because it's their comfort zone and, you know, they just want to party, party, party. And so when people say to me, oh, I went to Mexico. No, you didn't go to Mexico. You didn't go to You went to Cancun. You went to Disney World of Mexico. That's what you did. And if you're fine with that, fine. You're a tourist. Admit it. Nothing wrong. Okay, it's just, that's not my cup of tea, and for a lot of people, I don't think that's yours either. And I've run across you guys where you have absolutely no interest in going to a place like Cancun. All right, I'll give you an example. I had a couple, and we've hosted them, 3 trips now in different parts of Mexico. We were actually touring for 15 days through the Yucatan Peninsula. And it's just a couple. All right, we had to do small tours as well as large. We're south, we're in Chetumal. And I'm not going to get into it. If you don't know where Chetumal is, look it up. But it's south of Cancun. It's almost to Belize. So we're there and they say, you know, we're heading north. We've never been to Cancun. Now they have been all over the world. They travel, they got money, they travel. But they said, we have absolutely, absolutely no interest in going to any all-inclusives anywhere in the world, including Cancun. But a lot of our friends have gone and told us about it. And so they asked us, could we just do a drive-by? Huh? A drive-by. And so we did. We took them, we traveled the road, showed them the hotels, just drove. We stopped at a public beach so they could get out and see what the Caribbean looked like and the sand and kind of look along, you know, from the beach point of view. Took some photos. We went to Carlos and Charlie's. We had a hamburger and a beer. And then the husband looks at me and he goes, okay, he goes, that's enough. Let's get the hell out of here. And so we drove to Valladolid. So I'm probably the only tour company in history that brought people to Cancun for about 2 hours. Yeah. 2 hours. Those are the kind of people we call travelers. They're not tourists. They're travelers. They want to see the real country. They're not going to go to Xcaret and see the watered down, oh, let's know everything about Mexico in 2 hours thing. They want to actually go and experience. They want to see the culture, the history, and learn about the history, and go to the museums and meet the people and eat the different kinds of foods throughout Mexico, which Mexico is known for. So that's why I believe Cancun sucks. It's just too commercialized. But if you want to actually go see the country of Mexico, and you're one of those like my clients where we did the drive-by for 2 hours and say, no way in the world do I want to go stay at an all-inclusive. You're my kind of people. That's who we're looking for to take on these really great small group tours. Now that you've heard my rant, here's my conclusion. Cancun, Riviera Maya, well-oiled machines. They know how to advertise, they know how to get you there, and once you're there, they get you the hotels, they feed you, they entertain you. It's well-oiled. If you like going to Cancun, fine, I'm not knocking that. All right? I mentioned it, it's a great place, okay? The Caribbean Sea, all that fun stuff. If you like that comfort zone, that, you know, hanging out and partying and just kind of vegging, fine, go there. I personally would recommend some other places in Mexico if you wanted to go to a beach scene, like the southern coast of Oaxaca, like the Costa Alegre coast on the Pacific side. Mazatlan even is really nice. So is Zihuatanejo. All right, less crowded, really nice places. There are people out there, as I mentioned, like me. They wouldn't be caught dead in an all-inclusive. They actually are travelers. And so if you're a traveler and you want to go see Mexico, then contact me. I know Mexico. And if you happen to be a travel agent who's watching this and you have clients who are maybe sick and tired of the Cancun scene, the commercialized, they're always like a new big thing happens, opens up there. Now they got Xochimilco. Xochimilco's in Mexico City, the real Xochimilco. But no, they've got a replica. All right, that's why it's like Las Vegas. You can go to Las Vegas and see an Egyptian pyramid. Huh? But people go there, and fine. Okay, fine. I'm here to help, to serve the people who are travelers, who want to see the real Mexico in this particular case, who would rather want to go to Egypt and see that pyramid, who would rather want to go to Mexico City and see Xochimilco, and not go to some dumbass thing in Cancun where it's a replica. And if you enjoy it, fine, give them your money. No big deal. In US dollars, of course. I love doing these videos. If you agree with me, Cancun sucks, give me a thumbs up. Tell me why in the comments. If you don't agree with me, if you love Cancun, give me a thumbs down. Tell me why. I'd love to hear from you. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Remember, it's all about Mexico.